Hi, this is Justice with Tablet Pro. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Slim Pen 2 versus my favorite stylus, which is the R530 stylus. Now, what's important to note right in the beginning is I'm using an affiliate link for this one, and I sell this one. Both of them I like a lot. Both of them are great. Now, I have a laptop studio, and with the laptop studio, this is what I use most of the time. But what I miss is a lot of features on this. So if you don't have a Surface Pro 8 or a Surface Laptop Studio, this is what you should be getting, especially if you do art or you do note-taking. So I'm going to go into a deeper dive and talk about the different features between these two stylus so you have a good idea of what the differences are and which one you should buy, because it should be one or the other and not anything else. I have almost 50 different stylus that I've tested. All right, so what is the difference? Okay, for drawing, the line quality is almost identical, and I'm going to show you that inside of Rebelle 5. Also, if you guys are looking for a drawing program, Rebelle 5 is amazing. I highly recommend it. It's the best digital art program for traditional media. So if you want watercolors and oils and stuff like that, it's fantastic. I'll put a link to it in the description. Check it out. I have a lot of content on it. Okay, so here, main differences in features. 2 buttons, 1 button. This is invert and barrel. This is barrel. Barrel is used as a right-click equivalent in a lot of programs. Invert is used as an eraser in a lot of programs. This functions as an eraser. The new feature in the R530 is now this functions as an eraser. This charges via USB-C and is fast charging, which means that you're going to get about 80 to 100 hours of use, not just standby time, but use out of the charge, and the charge is going to take you about an hour. This one charges automatically on the Laptop Studio and the Surface Pro 8 in the keyboard or underneath the deck on the Laptop Studio. It's never going to run out of battery because it's constantly charging. If you don't have a Laptop Studio or Surface Pro 8 with a charging spot for it, the additional charger is about 30 to 40 bucks, which means the total price on this one is going to be close to 200 with tax. Total price on this one is about $40. So wildly different in price, and the line quality is almost identical. Line quality on this, on almost every device, minus the Surface Go series, is going to be dramatically better than almost everything else out there. This is magnetic and attaches really firmly to the side of the Surface line. Surface Pro 8 and Laptop Studio do not have that feature, so keep that in mind. This will not attach firmly to these ones. It has one magnetic point. This has 2. So dramatically better magnet. This is very unlikely to fall off. Again, I don't recommend that for a couple different reasons. Okay, this has haptics. The haptics are really cool. They are not gimmicky to me. They actually feel like a way that enhances and makes it feel more tactile. I really like that feature. What you want to keep in mind, haptics are not supported in most programs. OneNote has them. It feels nice when it works, but it doesn't work all the time yet. So most drawing programs, Rebelle, Krita, Corel Painter, almost all of them. I don't know of a single drawing program that uses it except for Sketchable and the Microsoft Store, which is a cool app. Maybe Concepts, I'm not sure. Haptics, not supporting a lot of different things. It is really cool. No haptics. This has a Bluetooth button, so if you're using your computer far away, like if you wanted to do play, pause, or whatever, you can use the pen tool from Tablet Pro, which let's jump over to the desktop quickly. Both of these, you can remap the side button. In fact, almost all Microsoft styluses, you can remap the side buttons and the Bluetooth buttons in the pen tool, which is one of the programs that we make at Tablet Pro. So here you can change the side buttons to a whole bunch of different things, including clicking locations on the screen, and have this run the artist pad, which is improving a whole lot these days. So if you haven't checked it out in a while, check that out. And we just added the ability here to do multiple modifiers. You can do Alt and Control and right click or middle click. This works in Blender, works in ZBrush, works in a lot of different places where it didn't used to work. This does not have Bluetooth. Not having Bluetooth means the battery will last longer, and if you're not using your computer from a distance, the Bluetooth doesn't really do a whole lot that the Tablet Pro Artist Pad or the side buttons can't do close up, especially if you're using your computer in tablet mode. You're going to need that other software. All right, as far as comfortability, a little heavier, a little lighter, a little shorter, a little longer. This button sometimes gets accidentally clicked, and it's a little hard to click because it is not flush, it's recessed a little bit. This button is only slightly elevated above the surface, and almost all the side buttons you kind of accidentally click. Sometimes I find myself accidentally clicking this one more. Pen tips, this one has the elastopolymer, which means it's a little bit grippy. I like the way that feels. It doesn't have that plastic on glass feel, which can feel very abrasive. It's not clacky or loud. This is a hard plastic tip. I don't have any complaints. It might be slightly louder. It's not as grippy. I don't mind it at all. It doesn't bother me. Comfort, this is flat. Honestly, easy to hold. It's not a big deal. I do wish it was slightly longer, but it's fine. This, the length is perfectly comfortable for me. I really like this. It feels well balanced. It's not too heavy. It is lighter than the Surface Pen because it doesn't have a battery. It doesn't have a quadruple A battery weight in the back that makes it a little heavy. This one you have to turn on. So when you take it off the side of your Surface, just start by pressing the button. It'll turn on by the time you use it on the screen. It takes just like a second or two. But that is something that you have to do. It turns off after 10 minutes, and that keeps the battery lasting a long time. This one you never have to turn on or off. It stays on. This one you have to pair with Bluetooth to get this working. Again, this doesn't have the Bluetooth button, so you don't have that extra step. If you want Bluetooth and you want a stylus from Renaisser, they have the R520 BT stylus. It has the Bluetooth button right here. Does the same thing as this. All of these you can now select the pressure sensitivity settings for. This draws a darker line with the same amount of pressure that these two do. This is going to be easier to do light shading. This is going to be harder to do light shading by default settings. Granted, you can change your settings and make this easier to use, and you can adjust this so the pressure curve is a little bit better. All right, let's do some drawing tests. We're going to use, again, Rebelle 5. Let's talk about the surface pressure settings real quickly. Okay, so Surface app. In a number of versions of the Surface app, this pressure setting was lost. It is here again, so you can adjust it here. For the Surface stylus, I recommend having this set at 4, and I'll show you why. All right, so here we're inside a OneNote. We have the artist pad over here, and what I want to show you is the pencil. Looks like a pencil. Okay, with the R530, same thing. By the way, both of these have tilt. So you really can get some very nice pencil-y looking lines. Okay, when we have this set to 7, which is the default, let's go back over here. and I use the Slim Pen 2. It looks pretty similar to a pen. There's not this nice gradient that you would see with the R530. You can get more of this pencil look. It's a little better for shading. All right, so let's erase all these. Both of these, by the way, have a rubberized eraser. So it has that feeling like you're erasing with a real pencil eraser. Feels like you need to brush the little nubbies off the screen afterwards. The Slim Pen 2 has pen pressure settings. Here for the Slim Pen 2, this is the same setting. So if I bring this back over to 4, and then I go back to Laptop Studio, this is going to be set at 4. So there's no added benefit to having it in the pen itself. They're not per pen. We may add this feature per program in the pen tool if we can ever figure it out. We're working on it. All right, so here we are in Rebelle 5 Pro, and let's look at the, let's actually zoom in. Now, most programs, when you zoom in, they reduce the jitter. So we're actually going to make sure that we stay at a certain zoom level. So we're not going to exceed 200 because I think that that alters the results. Okay, so we're going to start with Slim 2. And here's line smoothing, no positional smoothing is turned off. So important to know. Okay, these are medium pressure. We're going to do a little bit of hard pressure. All right. And this is the R530. Okay, what you're going to notice is that I can draw, again, these much lower pressure lines. By the way, that little dripping action occasionally happens on the Laptop Studio. And the Surface Pro 8. All right, so this is the line quality here. Let's scoot this over. Let's do this one more time, actually, because my hand position on the screen makes a difference. When I start trying to push hard, I screw up the beginning of the line. My hand isn't as stable. Okay, so here you can see the difference. This and the Slim Pen 2, this again is $40. And this is almost 200. So part of what I want you guys to understand, the differences between the two and then the value proposition between the two. Is this a better line quality than the Slim Pen 2? Almost, it's not. Okay, it's just a little bit. If it were, I would say like maybe 19 out of 20, and this would be 20. It's close. It's really close. Now, for $40 versus $200 and having the extra button, the eraser, the long battery life, the magnetism, this stores better on the Laptop Studio. This does not. This one you're going to have to put somewhere. So it does not attach to the side on the Laptop Studio, the Surface Pro 8. Every other device, first choice by far. Laptop Studio, I have both. I use this one more because it charges and docks underneath. Let me do a little comparison also on shading here, the pressure. By the way, this is such a great program. I have this set. I created some brushes here that I really like. All right, so here. It's very easy to control the pressure. is good also here. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the video. If you haven't seen my video on real pencil versus digital pencil, check out that video, and I have all my settings here. I think I've kept all the settings here for that. If you use a stylus and you use Microsoft Windows, subscribe to this channel right now. This is a great channel for you, and I'll see you in the next video.